Good morning, everyone, and welcome everybody to the presentation of the Citython Amsterdam 2020 event. My name is Tessa Werter and I'm working as a strategist at Frontier. Frontier is a creative strategy firm based in Amsterdam, and I will be moderating this session today. I will be your host. A little bit of background. I wanted to start with a short personal note. I was thinking about Amsterdam this morning, and although it's seen as a very small city, there are lots of different transportation possibilities. And there are also a lot of mobility challenges that we are facing nowadays. So I was counting the different modes of transport that I regularly use to move around the city. So I go by bike to my work, for example, and then I take the metro. But I also take the ferry when I cross the River. Or when I have a flat tire, I take the tram. Or when I have to go very fast and I'm a little bit late, then I take Felix, the new electronic scooter service. So with new innovations and more people, also new forms of mobility arise around the city. And also new challenges arise from this. I'm very happy that the Amsterdam Citython brings together cities, universities, research centers, and industry to work jointly on mobility innovations and to make the city more livable. After the success of previous editions in Barcelona and Lublin cities, this time the Citython Amsterdam will focus on how to tackle sustainable mobility with the use of digital tools in a competition open to all European citizens with a background in urban mobility and planning. So the goal of this introduction event is to present you the 3 key challenges that you need to tackle during the Citython that takes place from the 28th of October to the 6th of November. It's a pity that we cannot meet physically, but it also demands us to think outside of the box and come up with digital solutions. One of the most important criteria will be that the winning team propose solutions that are feasible and relevant for the city challenges, because these teams will be working with city representatives later on to implement the solutions. We've got 3 different challenges. The first one is green and efficient deliveries for a better neighborhood. The second one is Park That Bike Ride. And the third one is the Journey Simulator. This session is going to be recorded and available online on the website of the event, citython.eu/Amsterdam. And in case you have any questions during this event related to the Citython, you can contact our team sending an email to citython@carnetbarcelona.com. I would like to give the floor to Edwin Heesakkers. You are the Managing Director of the Innovation Hub West of the EIT Urban Mobility. And according to you, the EIT Urban Mobility aims to become the largest European initiative transforming urban mobility. That sounds very promising. Can I give you the floor, Edwin?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tessa, for your introduction. So I'll start sharing my screen right now. So welcome, everyone. Is this, yeah, can everyone see my screen, Tessa? Yes, it's working?
Yes, it's working. Perfect.
Perfect. So thanks for actually the introduction here. Managing Director for the Innovation Hub West, which is actually the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Luxembourg, UK, and Ireland. So welcome to the Citython, 10 days of great adventure for you guys. So I would like to give you an overview what we are and what we are doing the coming years. So actually solving the mobility challenges, as Tessa already mentioned, in all the mobility modalities you got in the city, and that we would like to do in a community all together. So actually our model right now is not sustainable. I don't think that we need to more focus on that, but at least 20% of the greenhouse gas emissions in Europe are produced by transport. We got a huge kind of number of accidents in the city, so almost 70% of those accidents happen in the city. So that's really a point to focus on, where we know the infrastructure percentage of in the city of the public space is actually 50%. Is quite high. We spent almost 1 year commuting and being in a car or somewhere else, while discussed congestion billions and millions per year. So I think that is a little bit of background where we are right now, where we need your help in the Citython actually. In EIT Mobility, we bring together actually all the stakeholders in the knowledge triangle, which is the city of Amsterdam in this case, which are the university and education and the industries together. And don't forget, please, the citizen here, which is the quadruple helix combining the rectangular actually. So we stimulate the change of behavior for people, how to benefit from that in the city, and we ensure fast deployment and scaling up from new vehicle or new technology solution. So improve the mobility for all, and last but not least, and that's why we are here, create more livable urban space and cities. So that's the background. It's a unique innovation instrument funded by European Union. We got a pot of 400 million for the next 6 years, spending in academy, in the city, in innovation, in business creation, and so on. So it's a unique instrument from the European Union. So actually to enhance Europe's capacity on innovation and improve quality of life and the competitiveness of Europe against the US and China and other great countries on the world. So to provide an ecosystem actually in this knowledge or credible helix and address the society challenges we got. So it's a pan-European 6 years enterprise for with a lots of financial instruments here. From student to entrepreneur, we call it like that, and from idea to product. And hopefully during this 10 days hackathon or Citython, you'll come up with great ideas that can be very broad in practice. So how we do this, we engage actually together. It's a community of people, a community of organizations. We connect them all and we co-create together. So it's not just the city or an industry that comes up with an idea. No, we all work together in the same kind of projects. So we're breaking down the isolated silos we got right now. We accelerate. So if there's a startup, for example, that has a great idea, we can fund it. Or if there's a startup that becomes very popular and becomes a scale up, we have got a funding mechanism as well to address to the scale up to grow even more in Europe. And we educate. So I'm quite proud to say that for this year, since September, the first students have started in the academy and the study of Master of Urban Mobility. So the study started already in the Technical University of Eindhoven in the Netherlands. So we've got a lot of partners, core partners. I'll start with the local authorities, all the cities. We've got 12 cities here, Amsterdam. We got various other cities like Eindhoven, Milan, Barcelona, and so on. Knowledge Institute here is CarNet, for example, and AMS. And definitely we got University of Barcelona here present as University of Education. And amongst that, those core partners, we've got industry partners like TomTom, Altran, Siemens, Achmea Insurance. So we got a lot of great players on a community here. So let's focus more into that, how we are doing this and how we have been organized ourselves. So our headquarters is based in Barcelona. We have got 5 regions here. We start with south, with Barcelona, Portugal, and south of Italy. We got central, which is actually Germany, and north of Italy, Turkey. We've got north, the Nordics, so to say, from managed from Copenhagen, and we got west and east in Prague, the Eastern European countries, and we got west in Helmond. So I'd like to focus more on my hub, so to say, our hub, with all great partners we got. Based in Helmond Automotive Campus, I'm responsible for Belgium, actually the Netherlands, Luxembourg, North of France, Ireland, and UK. So we'll bring in these partners to come up with great ideas. So we've got Amsterdam, Eindhoven, Helmond. We got industry players like Achmea, Altran Group, Siemens, Tractebel, Colruyt Group from Belgium. We've got AMAS Institute, Ghent University, TU Eindhoven, UCL, University College of London, and I'm proud to say that last month the European Cyclist Federation became network partner as well to promote active mobility in this case. So how we are organizing this? Actually, you recognize here the map, definitely a metro map. We've got the circular line, the various lines, growth lines, competition line, knowledge lines, and so on. I always start with a city club here in the center of actually all lines here. So defining all the challenges, actually today as well in the various tech pills, defining the challenges overall. Then we've got academy. I already mentioned this, that we have started a master school for urban mobility. We got innovation, where this knowledge triangle comes up with projects and ideas to actually to create impact on the street. We got a factory here in green, actually dissemination of great ideas, great project that has been invented, for example, in Amsterdam, and that could be copied in Barcelona or either every other city. And last but not least, we got business creation, as I stated already briefly, for startup, scale-ups, and so on that come out of these innovation ideas. So hopefully during this 10 days of Citython, you will come up with something, and you can start as an entrepreneur your own entity and get funding from EIT Urban Mobility. So actually, we've got every year a kind of renewed strategic agenda with the 5 most important objectives that we've got on the left here: create livable urban space, close the knowledge gap via the academy, deploy user-centric people, transport and goods systems, accelerate the market opportunities, as already said, from business creation perspective, and promote actually good and effective policies and the change of the people behavior here. So finally, this should have a great impact in the next couple of years, and we have set our targets here. So we would like to grow a lot of startups, scaling up more than 60 new mobility innovations and solutions, and supporting creation of thousands of jobs in Europe. So it's actually co-creating in this great community of knowledge. So the challenges, as Tessa already mentioned, starting on today, is a green and efficient deliveries for a better neighborhood, park that bike ride, and finally the journey simulator. So I've got some inspirational insights here to give you some background. What are we looking for? We are looking for intermodality, clean and green private vehicle fleets, safer streets, moving to active mobility, zero emission city logistics, and affordable transport for all. Another one is actually targets for carbon neutral cities in the next 10 years. And here you can see an overview, what are we doing in Europe? We would like to actually bring this community all together to create impact on the streets and to focus on these kind of targets and challenges we got, for example, here in Sweden, or what we've done in Vienna already. So decarbonizing transport, you can see here city logistics, active mobility, those kind of things. What about noise? This is just as an inspiration for you to think about a kind of solutions in that area. What about low emission zones? We've got plenty of low emission zones targets in Europe. Here on the left, you can see that set 2 years ago. So this definitely will increase the livability and the quality of life in our cities. Another one is shared and electric mobility, and that will actually happen in the cities and is happening already in Amsterdam on the right, in Bremen and in Leuven in Belgium, done by several other projects invested by Europe. So as an inspirational thinking here, the Superblocks model in Barcelona, you can do a deep dive into this great model that is currently happening in Barcelona already for the last 10 years. It is coming from more than just transport yourself or goods and displacement yourself in the city to a more controlled area where there's low speed transport of goods and people, and to more a kind friendly city where you can actively walk, play, game, be there and just buy your goods just on the street. So I think this is a great example that should give you a lot of inspiration for the next days of the Citython. So what about the corona virus pandemic? A lot of has been sent already in all newsletters. What has happened in our great cities of Europe, changes on the ground. Actually, a good example in Milan, where it's a quite condensed car city, dedicate more than 30 kilometers of streets to walking and active cycling here. Even in Barcelona, London, and Brussels as well. So what about in Paris, the 15-minute city approach? This will definitely rethink our complete cities, and where do we want to live, and where do we buy our goods to improve our quality of life in the city. So a lot of these game changers here on this slide: active and healthy mobility, as I already briefly mentioned, public realm intervention here, and the power of the 15-minute city, where everything is on 15 minutes cycling or walking in the city itself. So those slides were just for you to have got some inspirations here, and definitely in the tech pills that will follow later today, you got new visions and new ideas and new knowledge to gather here. This is just a briefly explanation of all the projects we are running, started in January 1st here, the first year of operations in EIT mobility. So various projects that we are proud on. For example, city flows, where the city of Amsterdam here on the left is already active participating together with Milan and Barcelona. Another example is ProMaas or UMOS here, and the Clear project in Amsterdam. So a lot to say and to discuss here around the great outcome of those projects. I'm currently working on the projects for next year already. And basically, these are my last slides. So from the cities of today to actually the cities of tomorrow, with more livable urban space, greener space to walk, to cycle, to play, to discuss, to buy, to share, and so on. And that is actually the place where you would like to live in a city. So this was my kind of introduction, and welcome you to the Citython. I'd like to thank you, and if there are any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edwin, for your elaborate presentation on the EIT, but also on the inspirational examples you just provided us with. Thank you so much.